Hello, hello, hello. I believe that is us now live on the internet. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Wait, this is on the internet? No one told me
Yeah,
about this.
I know.
I did not sign anything about being live.
I know. It falls into that sort of like 5% that's not the other thing.
Oh, right. Should have reminded myself of that.
So, welcome to the Fireside portal, the DM challenge game, where we do one shots to test a DM's skill. That is then scored by us, the players, and you in chat, and we come up with a final score for the DMs. Now, this is our very first game. This is just a test of the format to see if we can get it to work. So thank you very much for joining us. For those in chat, we're going to do a very, very quick round the room just to let you know who's here. We're not going to be doing anything in the way of character introductions because we've spent the last week building up to the characters. So we're going to go straight into the game once we've introduced all the players and our wonderful DM who is here today. So I think we're going to start with our wonderful DM who has very graciously decided to join us. The DM Dave, all the way from Careful Cantrip.
Wow, thanks, Crimson. I appreciate that.
No.
Wow.
So I'm looking at Twitch here, and my camera just went kapoof at the same time. I'm like,
Oh, that's fun. That's always fun.
oh, there it goes, and now it's
You
back.
became a pretty little flower. That's what you did.
I wasn't pretty. Anyway, hi, this is Dave.
Hey guys, DM Dave from Careful Cantrip here. Guys, thank you so much for inviting me on for your inaugural session. Very honored to be here and very happy that I'm not getting scored. And all the other sucker DMs after me, they get to be berated by chat, which is always fine by me.
Yep, that is correct. Dave will not score tonight, despite Crimson's every attempt. And talking of which, I believe we're going to introduce Crimson next.
Hopefully, if my system doesn't freak out on me, I apologize in advance just in case my microphone or camera goes out because I had to go get rid of my PC I just bought last weekend and wait for a new one now. So, anyway, I'm Crimson Rockstar. You've seen me in Discord, you've seen me on Twitch, and tonight I'm just going to be playing the wonderful Take Notice Macaro.
And I'll introduce myself. Dramatic pause. I will introduce myself next. I am Ash, usually renowned for being British. You'll see me hanging around on Voidcast Live on Parallel Projections doing the DMs for their one-shots. And now here on the Fireside portal, I'm going to be playing the Welsh Dwarven Cleric known as Happy. And then on to Liam.
That would be me. Liam, otherwise known as Carnal. I am a very dark and mysterious rogue who doesn't like to talk but loves to kill things. I'm very good at it, actually.
And finally,
we'll see about
Bard.
Hey guys, I'm Colin. If I also go by Stravis from my gamer tag in Discord and everything, so if you see that, that's me. I will be playing the cowboy Bard Ontarius, so it's going to be fun.
And so, guys, that is our characters. You'll see our character sheets just sort of popping up in the top right-hand corner, I hope, if I've managed to set everything up correctly, to be able to see our stats. We're all going to be level 5 characters going through a solo one-shot, exactly like we will be doing for the main game. So, without much further ado, over to our amazing DM Dave, and we will begin the session.
Just like that, eh? All right.
Just like that.
It begins.
The first portal opens. Yay.
To those in chat and those sitting around listening to our story, I beg you all your ears, for our story is about to commence. High above the treetops of the sunken valley, a group of 4 adventurers traverse a nearby snow-capped mountain peak. Exhausted from days of traveling, the party finds a spot to camp for the evening, in a small alcove away from the roaring winds that seem to cascade around the mountain. As the warm sun sets, the cool moon rises as the temperature dramatically shifts, plummeting down to below zero. Having been barred from an onslaught of the winds, the group builds a small campfire to ease the burden of the cold night. The light of the flickering campfire flickers off each of the warriors' faces, illuminating each detail in spectacular fashion. As you all stare around the campfire at one another, not much has been said thus far. Having traveled for so long, there's few left to speak of. Staring into the flames, almost hypnotically, you notice that the campfire crackles and bits of light float off the top of the flaming tips. They begin to swirl in the air high above the campfire and, oddly enough, begin to converge into one another. In unison, they begin to swirl clockwise in a ring shape. The oranges and reddish hues and ambers twist and turn, creating almost a dance directly in front of your eyes. Faster and faster, the embers swirl until they are indistinguishable from one another. And as the ring solidifies into a solid shape, a light begins to emit from the center. The light waves in a bluish hue like a pebble being dropped into water. Suddenly, a deep male voice calls out from the center of the ring. "I seek the acolyte of the light. Hear my call."
So as that happens, Happy looks around and he looks at the others and he says, "Well, I don't know about you, but I think I would be the only acolyte of the light around here. I wonder who he's talking about."
Happy, as you speak those words, the voice reemerges. "Happy, the divine calls to your aid. A worshipper pleads for assistance." As the voice says this, the light within the ring begins to clear as almost a window appears to a far-off place. Within the image, you see a small girl holding what looks to be a stone statue of a small creature in her arms. Her family huddled around her. She sobs as tears run down her small, plump cheeks. "Can't anyone save Boxy?" she calls out to the heavens. The deepened voice returns. "We are those that wish pain upon no one, and are destined to bring good tidings. Will you hear her cries and sit motionless, or will you follow the divine path shown in front of you?"
So, at this, Happy hefts the mace, pulls out a shield, stands up, and bows head in a silent prayer to the gods. After a second, looks around the fire and says, I reckon the way's pretty obvious, really. I'm going to be stepping into this fire now. Who's coming with me?"
When you look over to Liam, you'll see that he's already ready. He was ready before you were, and he'll look and say, "That's kind of a question, I believe. Did you think I wasn't going to come?"
"Oh no, I knew you were coming with me. But it's always polite to ask."
Well, you should probably keep the politeness for the nice ones.
Magaro just kind of chuckles as he brings his great axe over his shoulder. "Gonna be another grand adventure, isn't it, friend?"
And Ontarius just stands up and dusts the dirt from his chaps and says, "Looks like this is gonna be a good story."
And so not waiting to stand on ceremony, shield out ahead, mace held aloft as though a sort of a divine censer, and speaking a loud prayer to whichever god may listen, Happy walks directly into the fire portal.
All right. Are you all following Happy?
Right behind.
As our warriors march onward into the flames, a bright light passes by their eyes as they feel their essences being pulled into another place. As you find yourselves emerging on the other side, weapons and swords and shields drawn, you find yourself in a beautiful sunlight day. A warm wind, crisp, brushes across your faces. As you suddenly emerge directly in front of the camera, or in front of the family. I shouldn't stare at the camera when I talk about these kind of things. It's probably not a good idea. Don't deduct points yet, guys.
Oh no, he's breaking the fourth
you-
wall.
I do that occasionally. I'm sorry. As you suddenly appear directly in front of the family, the mother and father seem to be wide-eyed as the mother rushes behind the father. Please, please, we wish you no harm. By all the gods, the fowls of this day keeps coming. Please, we don't have much, but you can take whatever it is you want.
And Happy immediately turns from where his mace was held up aloft like a censer, down onto the floor, takes a knee, bows head, and says, Now, I don't want to be startling anyone, but we were sent here to come and help. So, whatever prayers you said to the gods, my god definitely answered.
The little girl stops sniffling for a moment and looks up, with large, doughy eyes, tears still filling them. You came from Father Light? Father Light heard me?
All who travel in the light are connected.
A giant smile washes across her face. She turns to her parents. Mommy, Daddy, it's okay. I think these nice people are going to help Boxy. You now take note of the small, what looks like cat, the stone statue that the little girl holds in her arms. The father looks towards you all. So you have no intention of harming myself or my family?
Happy just shakes his head.
Not
Well.
unless you give us reason.
There's not much an idle farmer like myself could do against such strong warriors as yourselves. Many apologies. I am Faldar. It is a pleasure to meet you. This is my wife, Belina, and my daughter, Becky.
I'd like to go down on one knee and give the little girl a flower that I picked from beside, hand it to her.
The little girl, once still smiling intensely, carefully puts the statue down directly beside her before walking over, hands behind her back. She leans over and smells the rose, or the flower. This is for me?
Aye, little one, it's for you.
She leans in, holding the flower. She takes another long sniff of it before clutching it to her chest. Are you all here to help Boxy?
Yes,
I
big
believe
one.
that's a question for him.
Yes, big one. We are here to help in any way that we can.
The father speaks up. I'm not sure how you'll be able to assist. Unfortunately, it seemed Boxy, my little one's cat, had run off and got himself lost. We searched everywhere for her. When word came that a pack of basilisks were making their way through parts of the town and just outside, we were worried sick that Boxy would never see the light of day. When we found the small cat, completely petrified of stone, well, we knew that there wasn't much we could do, save give it a proper burial. For there is no way that I know of to heal such a thing. There are rumors of an item in the nearby caverns, but no one is mad enough to go in there. I feel that your journey has been for naught, friends.
Well, lucky for you, we've got a big mad guy right here. I'm just going to slap the barbarian on the back.
Where's this cavern at, good sir?
Are you sure this is something that you want to endeavor? Madman's Run is no place, well, for anyone. The minds themselves will twist and turn both your sight and your minds.
And Happy just kind of looks directly into Faldar's eyes, which would be quite difficult for a dwarf on their knees, but he'll give it a go. And just with a very serious face, just says, "My good sir, a child without a cat is like a candle without a flame. Of course, we're going to go and find it."
Well, unfortunately, there's not much to tell you aside from the legends. It speaks of an item, a crystal, called the Heartstone. The Heartstone has been told to have many curative properties to it. To the best of my knowledge, it might be able to undo what's been done to Boxy, but alas, no one's seen it for quite a few years.
Would you happen to know what it looks like?
Well, legend says that it's a very large emerald, jaggedly cut. The interesting piece of the crystal is the swirling embers and smoke that reside directly in the crystals, almost making it seem alive itself.
Seems pretty easy enough to recognize, do believe.
Well, the mines were used for crystal mining long ago. You might run into some false idols there. But if you have a way to distinguish between that which is magical and that which is not, that might help you on your journey.
Happy looks slyly at Ontarius and just says, "I think we got that covered."
Just a bit.
Well, friends, if this is something you wish to do, we are but simple farmers. We don't have much to give. Of course, if you're able to find the stone, it is yours for the taking.
And
We just ask that...
Happy just interrupts him and says, "A night in a barn would be plenty for us, thank you very much."
Well, we can do one better. Perhaps a little bit of ale and some warm food on the table as well. Friends are always welcome around our table.
Oh, now we're talking.
We will not let your little girl go sad. Don't worry.
Which way do we need to go?
You'll want to head to the east. Follow that for a short period of time, and you'll come to a road. That road will lead you directly to where the caves were. Now, most of the entrances have been overgrown. Some collapsed in on themselves. But follow the road, and it'll take you close as I know of to get there.
And Happy reaches into his backpack, pulls out a candle and some incense, sets them down next to the girl, says a prayer, lights them both, and says, "Right, little Becky, what I want you to do is I want you to sit here with this candle, and you watch it for us. And by the time it's burned down, we'll be back and have your cat ready to be fixed."
Becky stands up proper, straightening her back and raising her hand to her head. "You can count on me." She immediately plops down, both of her knees now dropping on top of her crossed legs and staring benevolently at the candle. "Well, that's at least got her to stop crying. We wish you much luck, adventurers."
And Happy just bows and starts to head towards the door. As Happy gets to the door and kind of looks out, is it dark, light?
It is you're actually outside in the front area.
Okay.
It is a beautiful, looks like summer day.
And I just casually, to no one, but sort of looking vaguely in the direction of Faldar and Alina, just say, "So, east. That'd be, that
Of
way?"
course. Falder walks over to the door with you, or walks over to the gate of the fence. Just down that way.
Thank you very much. Come on,
I'm gonna look
chaps.
down and say, "Dwarves, the sun is right there," and start walking.
Yeah, but I gotta be honest with you. I'm not a big fan of the sun. It's always nicer to be underground, isn't it?
It does take a little longer to get to you that far to the ground, doesn't it?
I know he doesn't like sunlight, but God, that's a lot of shade.
It's alright. Jokes like that just go right over my head.
Tempted to grant inspiration. You all continue onward for roughly about half an hour to 45 minutes, eventually making your way to the path, the road that Falder was speaking of, and continue to follow that in the direction.
So I'll say now that Happy is just completely focused on getting to the caves. So probably not even looking left or right, just straight down the road.
Okay. And what is everyone else doing at this point?
Being the non-trusting and inquisitive person I am, I'm looking left and right and waiting for those lovely basilisks that we were told about to jump out at us at any second.
Okay. And the rest?
Ontarius is singing a cowboy song.
Ooh, how does that go?
Negative Ghost Rider.
You can't play a bard and not expect me to make you sing.
Gotta do it. You live in the South. You can sing.
Yeah,
I live in the North.
I got plenty of country songs, so I don't need to bust out a country song right now.
All right, fair enough. That would have definitely got you inspiration. I'm just
I
saying.
I will turn to my Garo though. You mind if I get a piggyback ride?
Why?
My feet hurt.
Well, gotta wear them boots in, apparently. Yeah.
They look pretty comfy.
Nothing better.
A short time passes.
Oops.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say Magaro's gonna kind of keep an eye out and just kind of see what kind of natural creatures roam this area.
Okay, go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Hmm.
Oh no, I dropped my D.
Please let there be your ask.
Perfect. An 8.
An 8.
Oh, look, Buster came. Yeah.
Staring out into the landscape, there are quite a few trees, small thickets of woods that you pass by, tall reeds that stretch up to almost the size of, well, the top of your head. You do see a few smaller creatures, mostly rodents and whatnot, scattering and playing in between the tall reeds. Otherwise, you don't see too much.
Well, if you can't see over the reeds, I got no bloody chance.
Don't worry, there's not much to look at currently.
A short time passes as you continue to walk onward down the path. Eventually, you are led to a small signpost, decrepit and worn over weather through many, many years. It seems to be slightly dust-covered, but not difficult to read. That is an arrow pointing to what says Madman's Run.
So I look at it and I say, well, that sounds like the right place. And I kind of look at my fellow adventurers, and sort of almost to nobody I say, dwarf, dragonborn, elf, no men. We'll be fine, and carry on walking.
Following the sign forward, you eventually come to the end of the path. Staring out in front of you is a wall of a cliffside. There seems to be quite a bit of overgrowth throughout the entire area, with what looks like a little stream rushing down. At first glance, there doesn't seem to be any clear entrance to the caves.
So I get the feeling that we're in my territory now as a dwarf. So would it be possible to try an insight check to sort of look at the rock formations and sort of look at where would be a good place to site the entrance to a cave?
I would say in that case, go ahead and make a nature check for me as opposed to an insight check.
And while he's doing that, could I take an arrow out and shoot it over his head at the overgrowth to see if it goes through?
Okay, go ahead and make a ranged attack for me.
So I got a 12 on my nature.
Magaro is going to just kind of start clearing the area a little bit. Pulls
23 on the ranged attack.
Just starts clearing them.
Okay. As Happy begins to stare over the landscape, you've seen this quite a few times in the past. It's pretty common and typical for a dwarf like yourself, having been part of the mines so many years ago and having your family been born almost in the mines itself. It's not difficult to see that there was a bit of a cave-in at some point. Quite a bit of rubble that now seems to be overgrown with quite a few plants. As the arrow seems to fly just over top of your shoulder, you watch as it sticks heavily into the dirt, almost confirming that this, in fact, has been an avalanche.
Well, I don't reckon that's the way in. Or maybe it was, but it probably isn't now.
I apologize for the arrow. I just couldn't wait for you to look around like you always do. You waste time.
I know, but
You
it's
always
always
move
better.
some of these small ones out of the way.
Magaro, as you take your axe and begin cutting away at some of the overgrowth, you notice that the small stream seems to be opening up more and more directly on the cliff face.
I would like to move away from the water. Like,
Okay.
to the side.
You have successfully avoided the splash attack of the small stream.
just feel like if he keeps hitting, something more may come out. I don't want to get washed away.
Well, I'm just clearing out some of this extra tall vegetation here. But puts the hand axes away. Reckon some of these are loose. I could probably get them out of the way pretty easily. Magaro's going to start kind of feeling around and see if he can find any of these loose boulders and such, and just kind of heft them and just toss them out of the way, hopefully creating an opening.
And you're doing this by the area that you're standing in at this point?
Yeah. It's Magaro thinks he's onto something here.
Okay, fair enough. Go ahead and make an athletics check for me.
Perfect. That's what we were shooting for. All right. Dirty 20, sir.
Dirty 20. Albeit that the stones that you seem to be pulling away now seem to be properly saturated with water from the small stream. You take note of this and begin to peel them off one by one, easily able to with your bulking size. As you continue to clear the area, the stream continues to grow larger and larger. The more rocks you seem to pull out of the way, a little bit more water continues to pour out. And at the point of where you've made roughly a hole about a size of 2 foot by 2 feet, the water seems to start clearing into more of a trickle. Looking down inward, you can see a little bit of a dust that seems to cascade within the hole itself. There does seem to be an opening.
And so Happy kind of wanders over and looks down. He says, "Oh, I see you found a way in. It's a little moister than I'd like, but I'm sure we'll manage."
Who's going to fit through there? The pretty boy playing the guitar?
Give me a moment.
What about the small?
Cracks his neck and just starts moving boulders and such out of the way. Try to make this hole big enough for people to climb through.
Sure. As you continue to rip away at the boulders, claws clenched on the edges of the rocks, pulling them with both arms, you clear more and more of a hole and a pathway leading inward, where it can be quite tight for all of you, but by crouching, you might be able to all fit in.
All right.
Well, the question is, do we trust the dwarf who doesn't like water, or do I go in first?
So at this point, Happy just kind of hefts the shield, hefts the mace, and gives a scathing look to the elf, and just says, "If you think that I'm not going to go underground, you've got another thing coming," and immediately starts heading for the hole.
Okay.
We lean back down Terrace and say, "I didn't want to go first anyway."
Yeah, I'm right there with you, bud.
I got done by reverse psychology.
It wasn't very difficult.
Yeah, intelligence is a dumb stat for clerics sometimes. Anyway.
It's clearly you're talking in a higher language than I can understand.
Let's just say he's as dull as a dishwasher. I'll tell you that.
Okay. Dishwashers exist in this land. It's canon now.
I mean, you grab a cloth, use your hands, scrub the plates real well. Dishwasher.
You're a dragonborn. Have you ever cleaned up after yourself in your life? Really?
Oh.
Not much to clean when you just burn it all down.
Okay.
All right. Are we all entering into the caverns?
Yes. I believe that
Okay.
Happy going first as well.
Okay. Taking a deep breath, staring into the unknown darkness, you all head in one by one. The hole, being as small as it is, doesn't pose too much of a threat to Happy. Just slightly crouching a little bit, he's able to make it through. Not a problem. The rest of you, however, find it a little bit more difficult. I need the three of you to go ahead and make dexterity saving throws for me.
Oh, that's very good. It's very good for me.
Just before I go again, I'm going to pull out a torch and light it.
Ooh,
Dexterity saving throw.
that would be a 22 for me.
It's a 23 for me.
Okay.
16 for Magaro.
16. Very good. As you trample through the small opening, you notice that the stream has created quite a bit of muck and mud around the opening. Tranching through, you do your best to keep your feet out of it, save from getting any of the sticky mud on your boots. While most of you have no problem doing so, Magaro, unfortunately, takes large steps into the mud, not paying any attention. For the next
a torch in front of my face, yeah.
For the next 4 hours, or until you can get the mud off, all terrain is considered difficult for you.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Look around and see what we see.
Looking around, you find yourself in what you would assume is a pretty standard mine shaft. While it's difficult to see in front of you, save for if you have dark vision, because God knows everybody has dark vision nowadays.
I don't. That's why I pulled out a torch.
You see down the corridor a number of wooden posts that seem to hold up the interior walls. While, again, most being decayed and weathered, they all seem to be able to hold the weight of the corridor with no problem. Unless, of course, someone happens to jostle with them. Down the corridor, you do notice another opening with what seems to be a greenish light emanating from it.
I believe this is where I would come into play. I will, first I want to look at the floor along the shaft to make sure there's nothing that would cause to trip or any of the wood planks to fall.
Absolutely. Go ahead and make an investigation check for me.
Okay.
Has the space gotten taller at all as we venture further in?
17 on mine.
17. Magaro, now that you've passed properly through the opening, it has opened up quite a bit. The ceilings now reach out up about 10 feet, and the corridor itself is about 10 feet wide as well. In terms of length, you're looking at roughly around 20 to 30 yards. Liam, as you carefully inspect in front of your companions, attempting to find any issues that might come about, you don't seem to see any traps or triggers or anything along those lines. To the best of your knowledge, this is a typical mineshaft.
So, using my sort of dwarven racial spent a lot of time underground, could I inspect the shortings and postings just to sort of see if there's any ones which are particularly weak, or if there's any ones, or if it's sort of likely to cave in?
Okay. Again, make an investigation check for me.
Investigation.
While this is going on, Magaro's going to take the time to slowly get this mud off his feet so he's not having that unnecessary weight slow him down.
Okay.
I get the feeling that Happy might have missed that day of props and Shaw's education in favour of something else.
Uh-huh.
With a natural 4 with no modifier.
Oh, everything is fine. This is completely up to the spec, to the best of your knowledge.
Excellent. In fact, for the
Moving-
for the 4 with my intelligence, I think I'll look around and say, "Now this is a nice hole. This is a bloody good shaft. This."
Megaro, as you continue to kind of scrape off some of the mud, it is in there deep, but you're getting some of it off. And by the time your companions continue to lurch forward, you've got about a quarter of it off at this point.
Oh, that's some thick mud.
Hope those weren't new.
Literally just start dragging my feet across the ground now and just trying to scrape more of it off as we go.
Okay.
How's that different from normal? Dragging your feet. Get it? Dragging.
Hey. Leave the jokes.
So you're really,
hard.
at this point, you're just kind of really giving it, scraping your feet the best that you can kind of thing.
Yeah. Trying to get this mud off as quickly and
fantastic. Go ahead and make
carefully as
a
possible.
dexterity saving throw for me.
Awesome. Oh, did my camera just die again?
You're still there. You're just very, very pretty colors.
Yeah. Dexterity saving throw. Ooh, at a 12 this time.
12. As Megaro begins to carelessly try and scrape the mud off of his feet as he walks down, he shifts back and forth, only focused on his feet at this point, accidentally knocking one of the pillars over to the side. You see a few of them begin to quake underneath the pressure, knowing full well that this isn't a very stable shaft at this point in time. What is everybody doing? You all have one ability to move or do whatever you wish. Starting with Liam.
My friends, I say we go. I'm going.
Okay. Liam takes off running down the way. Megaro.
Oh, crap. And just immediately starts bolting
Okay.
as fast as he can.
With movement speed at halved. Ontarius, what are you doing?
I'll charge forward too, but I'll keep pace with Megaro.
Okay. And Happy.
Happy's gonna put his shield above his head, and then try to run along the cave,
Okay.
run on the shaft.
In that case, again, I need you all to make dexterity saving throws. Happy, you can go ahead at advantage, and as well, Liam regularly. Megaro and Ontarius both at disadvantage for me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, at disadvantage? Oh,
Yep.
Interesting. My danger sense is not going to be able to help counter this at all.
Liam rolls a 16.
You're only a danger to yourself, my friend.
Indeed, I'll take it.
Did you say I was at advantage or I was just regular?
You are regular.
Okay.
I'm trying to get everybody's names right. Happy is at advantage, the other two at disadvantage.
I got a 7.
7?
Ooh.
Dirty 20 for Happy.
Dirty 20? And Megaro?
11.
11. The four of you begin to rush down the hallway as best as you can, Ontarius making sure to keep in sight with Megaro to make sure that no serious harm comes to him. Happy, not paying any attention at all, throws a shield over top of his head and just books it out of there. Liam quickly behind him. While all of you explode through to the large cavern on the other side, a few of you have taken a few rocks to the shoulders and back while running. Ontarius and Megaro, you take 6 points of damage each of the bludgeoning rocks that seem to fall on top of you.
Oh,
Cool.
Now finding yourselves in what looks to be a relatively medium-sized cave. Large stalagmites and stalactites hang from the walls and push up from the floors. A strange musky scent with a bit of vinegar to it seems to emanate throughout the air, kind of flooding into your senses slightly. You now take note of where the green lights seem to be coming from. Directly in front of you, that spans the entire width of the cavern itself. A massive, what looks like underground river, putrid green and bubbling. The river itself seems to stretch across to the other side, roughly about 40 feet.
I've seen water in my days, my friends, but that doesn't look like water to me. Has anyone ever seen anything like that? Ligero, maybe you should drink it. See what it tastes like.
I'm gonna get this darn mud off my feet before it becomes a bigger issue. My girl just literally sits down and starts prying the mud off.
Okay.
I'm gonna take a look at the water and try and see where it's coming from, where it's going to, what it looks like.
Sure. As you make your way over to the water's edge, you see what looks to be like steam coming off from the water's edge. The bubbling seems to be more viscous than you originally thought of the river. Looking down on either side, it seems to be coming and moving through what look like large boulders that rest over top of it, only giving about a foot or two of space between the top of the boulder and the actual water top itself. Now being a little bit closer to the other side, you can see clearly across to the other end where there seems to be a bit of a platform with what looks like a large crack opening.
Can we see how large enough for us to fit through?
Given your ability to see in the darkness, you would see that it would definitely. It's more of a fissure, if you will, that would easily allow for you all to pass through.
Okay. Is there anything around us right now that would be strong enough to tie a rope to?
Tell you what. First, go ahead and make a nature check for me. I'm getting a lot of nature checks tonight. This is like the first time I've ever been able to use those.
Come on. 9.
Oh, by the looks of it, everything would easily be able to hold your weight. No problem. And I think this is the point where we're going to go ahead and, unless you want to do a little bit more investigating of the river or the surrounding area.
Do I have enough mud off my feet yet?
My own.
You're about halfway there.
I was contemplating, and I'll ask Happy. Hey, Happy, what do you think what if I were to tie a rope to one of my arrows and shoot it up there? You think we could possibly climb up? Maybe climb over the river if we leave someone over here that can hold it?
I reckon that would probably work. How good are you at shooting arrows?
You want me to show you? Do you have an apple? You can sit it on your head and walk over there.
I pull out a apple from my ration kit, put it on my head, and go and sit down.
This is how Happy dies.
Oh boy. Let's just hope that's not a 1. All right.
All right, my friend. I hope you trust me.
I am sure you'll be fine.
What a catch vicious mockery on him so
Great
bad.
news. I do have as long as I don't move, I get advantage because I'm doing a ranged attack without movement. So I have 2 chances not to kill you. I didn't think you were going to go with that, by the way.
Happy takes things very literally.
Okay. All right, so a ranged attack. Here we go. That was a 2, but it's a 9.
Oh
it's a 9. I got a +7, so that one's a 9. Let's go with the next one. That one's a 20, dirty.
Okay. The first shot just whizzes by Happy, cutting his cheek slightly as it passes by. Happy, you take 1 point of slashing damage. The arrow bounces off the back wall and flickers into the water. You all watch as the arrow doesn't immediately sink right away, but instead sizzles and begins to melt, becoming an oozy liquid inside of the strange liquid of the river itself. The second shot, with Happy not having a chance to look back to protest at another shot being towards his head, only feels the slight whiff of it pass over top as he suddenly no longer feels the apple on top of his head. Looking behind you, Happy, you see it dead center, direct shot.
So Happy looks down at his hands and he goes, so if you hit 1 out of 2, I reckon if we fire 4 arrows up at the top, we might stand a chance.
Yeah, but who's to say I didn't do the first one on purpose? You trusted me. Why would you trust me?
Party bonding, isn't it fun?
I want to help Megero get the mud off of his feet while they're doing this.
Fair enough. All right. With a little bit of help, we can say that the mud is successfully off Megero's feet.
That
now
tickles.
Oh, shut up.
And now with
This is
somewhat a bit of a plan in mind, we're going to go ahead and do the Fireside's Portal first skill check challenge.
Ooh.
Each of you are going to have the ability to help in some way, shape, or form to get each other across the river. The one caveat is well, actually 2 caveats. One, you can only use a skill to which you are proficient with, and the other, you cannot use the same skill twice.
So, like, we can't use the same skill as somebody else?
Correct.
Oh, can we make that 3 rules? No tossing the dwarf.
I'll allow it.
All right, 1 skill check.
And what if I'm half proficient in skills?
How are you half proficient in skills?
I am
Jack
half
of all
proficient
trades.
or
Jack of all
proficient in
trades.
everything.
Yeah. There's not anything he's proficient in or not proficient in.
Bards are silly good.
Well, if there's a little black dot beside it on the skill thing, then you can go ahead and use it, my friend.
You can tell Dave doesn't have play with bards too terribly often.
Okay. I think I know how I'm going to help. But I need to know if anybody has a pulley in their backpack.
That's kind of specific, Happy.
By the way, you can all discuss what skills you plan on using with each other openly. It's not like you have to kind of guess at what each other are doing. You can plan it out.
I mean, I'm the strong guy, so obviously, you guys said something about swinging a rope across?
Shooting a rope across.
So if anyone's got something that we can turn into a pulley, I can use my wisdom insight, which I'm very proficient in, and figure out a way of lightening our load so we only weigh about half of what we weigh as we go across, because the rope will be doing twice the work.
Did you
I've got a pipe.
say how deep?
You got a what now?
How deep?
I've got a pipe, a spike that you put into the wall to climb.
Yeah.
That might work.
That could work if you got a ball bearing.
I've got a lot of those.
Okay. So if I use a wisdom insight check, I should be able to rig up some sort of a pulley system where we double the rope over and the rope does twice the work, so we actually only weigh about half what we weigh as we go across. We only put half the strain on. I remember that from engineering school. Don't know anything about shops and props and shoring, but I know about ropes.
That doesn't
Pretty
make
good.
any sense to me.
Pretty good with shooting the ball. I feel like I'll use my sleight of hand to shoot the bow across or the arrow across.
Okay.
Maguiro's kind of looking around. Are there any pillars nearby the water that looks like if they were pushed in that they would kind of help bridge the gap, so to say?
Kind of like stepping stones across the water. Is that what you're kind of going for?
Yeah. But if there's like not any actual stepping stones, like we make our own. If there's a nearby.
Oh no, there was
pillar.
definitely stepping stones. We just chose to ignore them because it's probably a trap.
Wait, what? Why would we do that?
Because it's probably a trap.
I feel like it might be a trap. Plus, I mean, when we came through the hole in the first place, you already got
Look at this
your
place.
boots all
Nobody's going to
muddy.
come in here and waste their time making a trap.
Well, if we have the rope and we use the stepping stones, it makes us a little bit less likely to fall in.
Yeah, there's definitely no stepping stones. Just I was just asking if that's what you were looking for.
That's what I was going to try to create by dropping a couple pillars, but
You can certainly try.
yeah. I just don't know how deep the water is. Can I look at this water? Can I inspect it a little bit closer?
Sure, absolutely. Again, go ahead and make an investigation check for me.
Ooh, not good. Let's see here. Perfect. Right on par with what I expected. Got a 6.
6. As you look down into the water deep, it seems quite murky at this point. Difficult to tell how deep it actually goes.
I'll say, hey, Maggie, remember the arrow that I
How
shot?
just call me?
Maggie, you like nicknames, right?
No.
No. Okay, I'm sorry. Hey, Maggie.
Macaro.
So, remember the arrow that I just shot at our friend Happy over here that bounced
No.
back?
I was scraping mud off my feet. I did.
Oh, well,
Wasn't paying
if
attention
you
to
had
it.
been watching, you would have saw it go into the water, and you would not see it there anymore because I believe the water dissolved it. I wouldn't get too close.
Just find a small stone and just kind of toss it about halfway through the river.
Okay. As you toss the stone into the river, surprisingly enough, it seems to sink as opposed to sizzle.
That's new.
Didn't see that one coming.
Well, maybe, rather than a pillar, why don't you grab some boulders? You could throw them in.
All right. So we're back to the stepping stones.
Well, a couple of stepping stones, a rope swing, and then, I'm sure it'll be fine. There's nothing intrinsically flawed in that plan.
This reminds me of a childhood game way back when, where you pretend the floor is like lava or something. If you fall in, you're done. And then
Very
Macaro's gonna
similar
go
game.
around find some stones and get ready to just kind of carefully make some
Did you
stepping
go up
stones in the
around
process.
lava?
It's just a childhood game.
All right. So before we move forward, Happy, are you proficient with tinker tools at all?
No, I went with brewer's supplies because I thought if we're going to be doing one shots, I better be able to brew some beer.
Okay, fair enough. In that case, to make the pulley system, I need you to go ahead and make a sleight of hand check for me.
Oh, that's something I'm good at. He says as he rolls a 17.
17. Surprisingly enough, you devise a concoction that would easily be able to hold each of your weights one at a time.
So what do you guys say? We let the bard go first.
Yeah, what is Ontarius doing?
Uh, what I was thinking of giving to this team effort here is a rousing persuasion or performance motivational speech to really get people excited about getting across that there river of death.
Okay, perfect. So we've got a sleight of hand check to shoot the arrow. We've got what I'm guessing is an athletics check to try and stack up some stones for stepping stones. We've got an insight check to ensure that this is going to be a foolproof plan, of course. And we have a performance or persuasion check for the inspirational speech.
I say we go performance.
They're
I'd like to
both
hear
the
you
same,
sing.
so.
All right, fair enough. In that case, if you will all go ahead and roll some dice for me.
The floor is lava. No.
Athletics. Heave ho, toss the stone, we go.
Do I get it? Do I get advantage since I'm shooting a ranged attack and I'm not moving?
Not
Is
at all.
that something? Man. Okay.
Not at all.
Okay.
I give myself bardic inspiration.
That would have been nice.
Yeah, that's a solid no.
Happy believes this is the best plan in the
Solid
world.
no.
That no plan could ever have been better, and it's completely well devised, and nothing could possibly go wrong.
And what did Happy roll?
A 5. Plus 5 is a 10.
Okay. So we've got a 10. We've got, sorry, Liam, what did you roll?
I rolled a 2 plus a 7, so that would be a 9.
9. Okay. And Megaro and Ontarius.
I got a 2 plus a 10 for a 12.
Jesus, Murphy.
This plan is foolproof. There's
Don't
nothing
worry.
can go wrong.
I'll make up the slack real quickly. Over here with my 22.
22. Very good.
So for some
Can we
reason,
add them up and divide?
for some reason, my god is giving me this sort of image of like a room on fire with a dog sat in it.
Don't worry, everything is gonna be fine. Everything is fine.
Yeah, where's the speech you promised us? Because I'm not feeling very motivated right now.
All right.
Oh, I feel
All right.
I feel super motivated because I think this is a great plan.
Gather around. So that right there is death. Over yonder is not death. Let's get to it. And that's about a 12.
That's about a 12 with the speech.
All right. As you begin to execute on your more than perfect plan, Megaro begins to throw large stones into the water, trying his best to stack them up as best as he can. He is able to get a few stepping stones out, probably about a 10-foot distance in between the two, between all of them. As Liam shoots his arrow up to a nearby platform, it seems to wrap around, albeit slightly loose. The pulley system is attached to the best of your knowledge. As far as you're concerned, this is ready to go.
Who's going first?
I say, Mr. Light on your feet yourself.
I'm very light on my feet. Okay.
Okay.
I'm not sure exactly how this lovely contraption works, but I'm going to grab the rope and hope for the best. Please
So
don't let me die on the first show.
Happy kind of shows him how to double the rope round so it sort of takes more of the strain than it should be.
Okay.
Okay. As you begin to gingerly cross over top
Ginger joke already.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
As long as you don't get him to ginger you up, you'll be fine.
That's very big of you to say.
You make it onto the first stepping stone. It's small, a little slick from a little bit of the strange liquid being splashed upon it. However, it seems pretty steady. You continue to leap on the second, the third. And as you go to leap onto the fourth and final, I need you to go ahead and make an acrobatics check for me.
Acrobatics. Ooh, come on. Good roll. Good roll. That would be a 10.
A 10. You leap onto the final stone, almost losing your balance as you teeter back and forth. As you're about to fall over, you grab onto the rope the best you can, and just in the nick of time, it pulls taut for you. However, about half of the stone crumbles and falls into the water. You make one final last leap to the other side. You seem to be all right.
I'm safe, y'all.
Oh, well, that looked fairly simple. I reckon we should be all right.
I'd watch that last step if I were you.
Should I get another stone?
It might be a good idea. There's only half of it left.
I'm running out of good ones. My girl's gonna go find another stone to try to expand the walkway.
Okay.
Can I take a rope and just shoot it over the rope we already have, and I can hold it from my side to give them a little more of a stability?
Absolutely. Go ahead and make a ranged attack as well. Megaro, I would like you to also make a ranged attack for me. As you are trying to be precision accurate with where this last boulder goes.
All right, that's
There
just
we
gonna
go.
be a dexterity attack.
Mm-hmm.
Am I adding my proficiency to that, or
Are you proficient with giant boulders?
I don't know, DM. I
rolled a
might be.
21.
I'm doing pretty good so far.
I'll tell you what, I'm proficient with throwing giant boulders, that's for sure.
All right, let's see here. We'll just roll that. Nope.
That'll be a no.
Okay.
Ah,
As it splashes
was
into
really heavy.
the nearby liquid, it seems to slide directly in, only leaving, once again, half the spacing needed. However, the rope is now doubled.
So I think Happy's gonna go next, because
Okay.
he's seen the elf be successful. And he's like, well, can't let the dwarves down now, can we?
Okay.
Can he
Making your
reach the rope?
making your first leap onto, well, first attaching the rope to maybe your belt line. You take your first leap onto the first pillar or stepping stones. As you go to take your first leap, go ahead and make an acrobatics check for me.
Oh, okay. Yep. Yep.
Uh-oh.
That's a natural one with a +1.
Okay. As you leap onto the first stone, your heavy armor makes the rocks underneath it jiggle a little bit. They seem to begin to slip into the water as your feet dip down into the strange river. You leap over to the next side, and as you are in the air, jumping onto the second stone, you feel a sizzling at your feet. As you look down, you see that parts of your armored boots have now sizzled away, and you also
good.
take 7 points of acid damage.
Oh, lovely. Yep.
Continuing on to the next few stones, you make the next leap more cautiously. Again to the third, coming to the final stone, only about half of it being there. Praying to your God, closing your eyes for your moment, holding on to your holy symbol. You take one last leap onto the last. Go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw for me.
That's better. That's a 17 plus 1 for 18.
17, you stick at the landing quite easily. You
I
kind
think,
of wobble back and forth a little bit, but you're able to find your grounding.
I think because my boots are now sort of mostly worn away, it's just my feet there, isn't it?
Unless you're wearing some kind of socks or stockings.
Okay. I think what I try and do is I try and sort of put my feet together and put my arms up as though sort of gracefully coming to the end of a wonderful routine of acrobatics. And just kind of look at the elf as I go past and just unbuckle the rope.
Making your final way onto the secondary platform, you too now see the large crack or fissure in the side of the wall. No problem fitting all individuals through it. Swinging the rope back across to the other side. Who's going next?
As I swing it back, I say, "Yeah, you might want to wash that water there. It's a little bit burny."
I'm gonna yell over to Magero and say, "Hey, are there any more boulders?"
This is a cave. There are rocks. One would naturally assume.
What if we tied a rope to the boulder? You threw it across, and we used it as like a rope bridge to walk through to give us a little extra stability. I just don't know if that last step is going to be is going to be too much to hold the bigger person in our group.
All right, Ontario, it's your turn.
How about this? How about you go first? That last rock falls, then I can figure it out. If it's gonna go wrong, it's gonna go wrong with you. So I'd rather get it over with quickly.
Yeah, but if it's gonna go wrong with me, then it's better to have you across already, sir.
How about a game of Rochambeau?
How about a game of get your ass moving before I hurt you? Let's go.
I'll look at Happy and say, "I thought we were all friends."
I'm sorry. Who are you?
Yeah.
I guess
All
I'll go
right.
first then.
Yes, please, I insist.
All right, Ontarius is going next.
Yeah.
All right. Now staring directly in front of you, one of the stones seem missing. The first leap you must make is roughly 20 feet. Are you going to go ahead and try and make that jump?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Give him a toss.
The first stone is gone. Yeah. Is there any more stones I can throw in this?
Oh, you can
Wait.
find a number of stones that
All
would
right.
that were easily the same size as some of the other ones.
Okay. Do I need to make a new check?
Sure. Go ahead and make an athletics check for me. Or acrobatics.
you.
Nope, athletics. That's the one I'm
Acrobat.
looking for.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry.
Yeah. 12.
12. Plopping it down in the water not too far, it's not exactly 10 feet anymore, but it's a lot less than 20. Hard to tell from this angle. Ontarius. As you take your first leap onto the first stone.
Well, before I do that, I will turn to my big friend there and give him a little bit of bardic inspiration. I'm just gonna turn to him and pat him on the back and say, "You know, you're as strong as a workhorse in a cold day." I know that doesn't make sense, and I'm gonna jump.
Is that a D6 or a D8?
D6,
I believe.
It's a
D8. It's a D8 at level 5?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay, level 5.
Yeah, okay.
And
All right, making your first leap on, you feel the pull of the rope as it kind of swings you a little bit to the first one. Now staring off towards the other, you get a better look. It's still about 15 feet of a jump.
Gotta make the jump.
All right. Go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw for me.
Holding on tight to the rope.
Be an 18.
18. As you begin to jump across, you feel your companions from the other side pull down on the rope the best they can. You swing a little bit gracefully over to the second side, putting your toe down just in time to meet with the stone itself. You teeter forward slightly a little bit before pulling back with your weight, nesting on the ground proper, on the stone proper. Making the next leap, you're able to make it to the third stone. And the final and last, with half the size of a landing area, go ahead and make one last dexterity saving throw for me.
There you go, 23.
23. Surprisingly dexterous for a bard. You hop over to the second the last, and without hesitation, easily almost skip to the other side. You are now on the other side of the platform, leaving only one of your companions behind. Swinging the rope back, Megaro catches it in hand.
This can't be that hard. Wrap the rope around myself. I'm going to grab a bit higher on the rope than what I've seen everybody else grabbing it. So if I need to pull myself up, I can.
Okay.
Garo's just going to go for it.
I'm going to need some help to hold this rope.
All
right.
Immediately just start running in for it and going.
Okay. As Megaro sets off, leaping across, Liam, you feel yourself now being pulled from the other side. Trying to dig your heels into the ground, it's pulling you closer and closer to the river as, like a rampaging bull, Megaro pushes through, hopping over the first, the second, the third. Liam, you continue to get closer and closer now, just on the absolute edge. You can feel yourself being pulled towards the river as Megaro close in closer and closer to you. Megaro. As you're ready to take the final leap, you do take note of Liam struggling on the other side. Does this stop you at all from making your last jump?
Can I say, gents, can I get some help?
I'm not very strong myself.
I guess not. Okay.
I immediately grab him round the waist.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. Going at the pace I'm going is like I don't think Megaro is going to realize what's happening quite so quickly, and he's just he jumps for it.
Okay. I need both you and Liam to go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw for me.
Oh boy.
Which save am I making? I'm sorry.
Dexterity.
Dexterity.
And I'll give you advantage as well. I mean, Happy's not really giving much of a counterbalance weight to you, but I'll be a nice DM and say you can have that at advantage.
Thank you.
I'm a good little anchor.
I would think I'm going to add that D8 on right away, just so like it's questionable, and I'm not sure if it's going to work or not. So we're just.
I'm sitting at a 14.
14.
Oh, good! I got an extra 1 on there. Yes.
17 and a 14. As Megaro pulls forward to the other side, He's easily steps on to the second platform. However, Liam, you get pulled a little bit, catching a little bit of your feet within the water. You pull back immediately, knowing the effect of what the water does, but you see parts of your boots now beginning to waste away. You also take 4 points of acid damage.
Okay.
As you let the rope loose, Megero, you have now all made it to the other side.
So looking around everyone, I can see that there's people who have... I've burned myself. You've burned yourself. People have been hit by rocks. And I immediately cast Mass Healing Word.
Goddamn healers.
Gotta love them.
Because he doesn't look very comfortable with his feet getting acid damage, so...
Like, I'm not wearing any real boots on my character here. Big Dragonborn feet aren't in boots usually.
Everybody regain 8 points of health.
That's better.
Do we see any other way out besides the crevice you were talking about?
Make an investigation check for me.
I'm going to light a new torch, since I probably left the other torch on the other side.
13.
13, looking around, you don't seem to see any other major way through. None that's easily accessible. You do notice along parts of the cavern wall, there seems to be tiny holes, perfectly circular, all over the upper areas of the wall itself.
I'll communicate that to the party.
Okay.
And then think to myself, we can't even make it across a river. Why would we try to climb that high?
Wait, we got to climb now? I might have a chance at that one.
You can either try and climb to an unknown spot up top, or alternatively, you can go through the fissure. Which is directly in front of you and is totally your size and totally safe. I promise.
Oh, well, in that case, Happy's just going to probably wander right in.
Of course.
I'll follow right behind.
In fact, what I think Happy does is I think Happy kind of looks at it and goes, well, this doesn't take a genius to work out, and starts walking straight down it.
All right. Is anyone stopping Happy?
Oh, no. No. Can't wait to see how this goes.
No?
I would like to see if I can get ahead of him and possibly see if I can see what's on the other side before we just jump into some kind of a trap.
I mean, at this point, Happy's already making his way to the fissure. No one seems to have wanted to stop him. And you watch as your companion now disappears into the darkness behind the fissure.
Okay, I'm going after him.
We can't lose sight of the healer. Let's go.
He's probably dead already, so I think we should just move up top.
Get your ass moving. And I just push him in the fissure.
As you get pushed into the fissure, it seems to wind slightly, a little bit of a pathway, very tight enclosure. You squeeze through, now feeling the two rock faces press up against your chests, making it difficult to breathe as it continues to press like the world itself is crushing in on you, darker and darker into the depths of the earth itself.
This is so fun to squeeze through a fissure with a torch.
It takes you... It takes you but a few moments to make your way to a little bit of the area of the fissure that seems to open up more, where you can now at least turn head on rather being perfectly sideways walking through. As you find the end of the fissure, you now take note of the other side of what looks like a small peaked archway. Looking through, you hear the wisps of almost the sound of air or wind passing through small, tight spaces. A little bit of a whistle to the wind. On the opposite side, you see another little bit of a blue, purplish glow on the other side. But there is a rock face in your way.
Okay.
I'll wait to see what Happy does since he's in the front.
So, I've got a rock face in front of me.
There's a rock face in front of you, but just to the right of it, you can see that there seems to be an opening. That's where the sounds are coming from, and the light seems to be emanating from.
Okay. So I turn to the others, and I'm kind of looking around, and having gone through the fissure, I say, you know, it really is quite lovely down here. It reminds me of home.
A cave.
Well, it's more of a mine shaft, isn't it? I'm not saying that it's my mine shaft, but it's a mine shaft nonetheless.
Are they not the same?
No, they're all slightly different in their own way.
All right. We're on a time crunch here. You gave a kid a candle. What's that archway?
Yeah, I don't know, but there's kind of a weird glow behind it. There's very little else going on. Should we go find out what the glow is?
I don't think there's much of a question. I mean, either we go back or we go forward, right?
Oh, okay. And Happy just starts wandering towards the light.
Passing around the rock face, you now get your first glimpse into what looks to be a massive cavern. Hundreds of feet across on either side. You seem to be on a bit of an elevated platform. Stalagmites that seem to stick up just at the edge. Looking around the cavern, it is fully aglow with a number of crystals embedded into the walls. Greens, purples, blues. All around you see other small openings leading to the same cavern with identical platforms that hang off of them. Below there seems to be a bit of a pit. And in the direct center of the entire cavern, another raised platform, roughly 50 feet across in either way. No perfect shaping behind it, as it seems to be naturally made. But strangely enough, you do recognize or see it is the only area within the cave that has a bright greenish glow to it.
I don't claim to be the smartest person, my friends, but I do believe we have to get over there.
We're looking for magic emerald.
Yep.
Mhm.
The glowing green one. Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess we'll see if this one's magic. How far away is it?
From where you're standing right now, it's roughly about 70 to 80 feet away from you.
I'll cast Detect Magic and step 30 feet away from it.
Okay. As you walk to the very edge of the platform that you stand on, looking down, you can see a little bit of a bluish water, only about a foot deep. Looking around, you do notice, strangely enough, there seems to be a number of large holes that the water seems to be escaping into. Around each one of the holes, piles and piles of what you can only hope for, animal bones. Focusing your attention back to the platform directly in the center, you strum your lute for a brief moment. Closing your eyes, you practically see the strings of notes float out of the lute, traveling their way across to the platform. You watch as each individual note, like you've written so many times on a musical page, whirl around, creating a circle over top of the green glow in the center. The notes begin to glow the similar same green, indicating that whatever it is that they seem to be circling around is in fact magic.
Am I getting anything else magic in the room in that 30-foot sphere of me?
No.
All right.
Good. As Megaro is kind of glancing at the rest of this large geode, could Megaro make a perception or nature check to try to discern what kind of creatures would possibly live here?
Yeah, a creature. I would say yes. You can go ahead and make a nature check for me. I'll say either a nature or yeah, we'll do that or an animal handling. I'll let you choose.
14.
14. You've heard of a number of creatures that dwell in the darkness of the caves below. Some interested in crystals, others just interested in the darkness. However, there isn't anything in particular that comes to mind that would make the most sense from your experience.
Do we see a safe way down in any way?
Luckily enough, the platforms that you reside on are only about 10 feet from the ground below. The area that seems to stretch and act as a perimeter around the platform follows itself all the way around the large cavern, with the platform in the center again raised about 10 to 15 feet.
Well, that's what we're looking for.
Did you say there was blue water surrounding? Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Can I toss a ball bearing into the water to see what happens?
Okay. Dropping the ball bearing down into the water, like any pebble that you've dropped in a lake before, it just simply, bloop, a little bit of a splash pops up from the ground. And you clearly see the ball bearing now sitting below the water.
Let's go get that gem.
Is there anything special you guys would like to do? Or do you want me just to shimmy myself on down and see if I can stealthily make it to the platform?
Aren't I already down?
No, you're just standing right at the
okay.
edge of the platform that you're standing on.
Is there anywhere nearby that's good enough to tie a rope onto?
There's a few stalagmites that you could just easily tie a rope to.
Either we can set up a rope bridge over that way, or at least be able to descend a little safely. Yeah. Just in
If
case
nobody's got any
we have to
thoughts.
move quickly.
I say we just go for it.
Yeah, we just need to make sure we can get back up.
Yeah, just sit down, drop down the rope, and then carry on.
So Happy just starts tying a rope off to one of the stalactites.
Are stalactites the one that are on the floor? I always get those mixed up.
We don't ask this question.
Might goes up, tight goes down.
Trust the
Okay.
dwarf.
I would have just assumed that might, because it's like mites are on the ground.
Yeah,
that
tights
would be
are-
better for us.
All you need to remember is tights drop down.
Okay.
Ah,
They sure do.
okay.
Hashtag team no pants. As you tie off the rope, each one of you individually begin to make your way down. Doesn't take long. Again, only about a 10-foot incline to the water below. Happy as you touch down, a little bit of a splash kicks up around your feet. You feel the cold water run in between your toes as you no longer have any armor boots on.
Slightly chilly, but it's all right. And start walking towards the platform, or the raised section in the middle.
Okay. You make your way over to the platform. You see that the incline on it isn't as steep as the platform you came in on. You easily are able to see what look like foot and handholds that would allow you to climb up. Again, only about 10 feet.
Would you like me to go first?
Yes, that might be a good idea. You know where you're going.
Okay. I'm going to go on to the center platform.
Climbing to the other side, you take note of the ground once you're properly on the second platform or the center platform. Very different from the cobbled grounds that you've come across so far. Most of the platform itself seem to be proper slabs of stone, equally spaced, perfectly rowed. And directly in the center of the platform, you see a large, uncut emerald embedded into the floor. Wisps of energy seem to be cascading through it. And all around it, a cluster of a number of large diamonds.
Now I'll communicate that to them. Tell them what I see.
So, does the emerald seem to have swirly embers inside it?
It does.
Right, I reckon that's what it's being used for. I reckon that's the right one. I got one
Do I
question.
get anything with my detect magic now that I'm in the middle of the room?
Sorry, so everybody's crossed over to the platform now?
I don't think they've come up to the platform yet. I'm
Yeah,
still
I only thought,
communicating
I knew Happy and Liam had climbed it.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if the other two have as well.
Yeah, I'll go up there and see if I can get any more with my detect magic while it's still up.
Okay.
One thing I'd like to do is, if it's surrounded by diamonds, can I make a medicine check to see if I can grab them to be used for the spell components?
You definitely don't need a medicine check for this. You do now note that these are some of the most crystal clear diamonds you've ever seen. Each easily worth 500 pieces of gold. From what you can gather, there's about 10 of them there for you.
Maguiro's going to get a tad bit distracted along the way as he starts descending and sees all these other different crystals, and he can't help but like just to see if there's any loose ones that he can put in his backpack or something.
Okay.
I'm definitely going for the 10 diamonds.
Okay.
I'm only looking at the emeralds. I don't care anything about the gems.
Okay. As Magero and Happy begin to pull at the crystals, surprisingly, they are not as loose as you'd think that they were. However, giving a few hard tugs, you're both able to pull your first crystals out of the hard rock floor.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to
Admiring
walk
them,
close to something that I could hide with, knowing that something bad's about to happen. Some form of a stone or something.
that's a little too metagaming, my friend. You don't know anything bad is about to happen outside of a game.
I have danger sets, so that'll help a little bit.
Well, as soon as you begin to admire,
Yeah.
your
there we
spidey
go.
sense immediately begins to tingle as the entire
Oh,
cavern
crap.
begins to shake. Looking over to your left side, you can see one massive creature pulling itself out of one of the holes. Looking at it, it looks like a bizarre concoction of a centipede and a vile, fiendish creature of some kind. Crystals all over its body. A strange purplish hue. Pointed ears and no mouth. The rest of you looking atop the platform, getting a better view of the entire landscape, you notice as well this large creature emerging from one of the holes, as well as a second beginning to emerge, both towering in size. They both look towards you and let out some type of telepathic sonic scream as they begin to approach. I need y'all to roll initiative for me, please.
The hairs in the back of my neck
First
stood up the second
combat.
they grabbed those diamonds. I knew it was coming.
Ooh, that's a natural 20
First
for a 22.
combat. Yeah.
Well, I suppose it's a good thing the healer's going last, isn't it?
That would be a
All right.
17.
I got more initiative than the rogue. Ooh.
Okay, Ontarius, what did you roll?
22.
22. Magero.
Maguro, I believe, also. Double check here. What the heck did I just roll?
Magetta
fine.
rolled a 10.
Yeah, that's not what I saw on my screen. Oh well, that's what I got.
Yeah, it's a 10.
10?
Let's go. Doesn't
Yep.
matter.
Happy.
We're ready.
That'll be a 2.
A 2. And Liam.
17.
17. What's your dex modifier?
+4.
+4. Ontarius?
+1.
+1. Okay. Wait, who rolled a 20? Did someone roll a 22?
I
That was
did.
Ontarius.
Ontario.
Yeah,
Oh,
Ontario.
okay. I don't know why I wrote a 17 for you. 22. 17, 10, and a 2. And last but not least is that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's get you guys over to where did I put my map? There is my map. All right. And if Ash, you can go ahead and bring us over to... if you can bring us over to the battle map.
Hey, I've looked at this kind of map before.
Probably zoom in a bit.
All right. So first and foremost, seeing the creatures, Ontarius is the first to react. What would you like to do, my friend?
Which one am I?
You are the one labeled Ontarius. Let me go ahead and... that's not you.
The one that's conveniently got the label. There we go.
And this is this one.
Cool.
All right, you guys should have control over your players.
I'm going to... Let's see. Yeah, I'm just gonna go right here. And then I will cast Shatter at 3rd level at the one at the top there.
Top left or top right?
Top right, sorry.
Okay. As you begin to strum harshly on your lutes, the sounds reverberate throughout the entire cavern, creating a shaking motion all around you. Go ahead and is that a spell attack or no? That's a saving throw, is it not?
They have to make a con save.
Con save, correct. Ooh. The creature grabs onto its ears as the ground around him begins to shake, some of the rocks beginning to pull off the ground from the sheer magnetism of your magic. However, starts to shake it off and refocuses it on you. That's going to be a 19.
Yeah, that'll beat it, so it takes half damage.
Okay.
That's 19 for full damage, so however you want to half that.
Okay. Seeing that the creature has shaken off the majority of the attack, is there anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
I'll use my bonus action to give... we'll give Liam some bardic inspiration.
Okay. As you begin to strum your lute once more, it resonates within Liam's ears, instinctively knowing that he's slightly inspired by your song.
Only slightly.
Only slightly.
It's a D8. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
Is there anything else you'd like to do on your turn, Ontarius?
That's it for me.
Okay, in that case, Liam, you are up. Magero, you are on deck. Liam, what would you like to do?
So I'm going to move right here over to the very side where there's still some rocks.
You should be able to just pick up your character and move them. There you go.
Yeah. And I'm going to do a ranged attack at the one on the top right.
Top right? Okay.
Yeah. So it should be because he hasn't gone yet, I should have a sneak attack.
Because he hasn't gone yet? Well, technically none of your companions are engaged with him, and you're not technically hidden right now. So unless you have something that allows for that.
Assassin. The assassin class get anybody who hasn't gone yet. So
Yep. Okay. I didn't know you were assassin. Okay, go ahead. Pulling back on your crossbow, you let the bolt loose towards your enemy. Go ahead and make a ranged attack for me.
A natural 1. So that's an 8. I'm going to use my bardic inspiration and roll a d8.
Okay.
Hopefully. What do we got? Okay, so that's a 10 total to hit.
A 10. As you let loose your bolts, it seems that some of the mud has actually gotten into the crossbolt, jamming it slightly. While the arrow gets let loose, it flies off to the sides, not even coming close to the creature entirely. You look down at your crossbow and realize that to unjam it, it's going to take you a second. It will take you an action in order to unjam based on a natural 1.
Yep. Okay, so I'm going to use my bonus action to hide behind the rock I'm beside right there.
Okay. Go ahead and make a
And,
stealth roll for me.
Stealth roll is a 27.
27. You have adequately hidden yourself, my friend.
Here come the good rolls.
Well, hopefully, because apparently I can't
time.
shoot anything. I'm about to give up on shooting.
Megaro, as you pushed down the crystal, slipping it into your loincloth. I'm not sure what you're wearing.
I
You
have
look
a backpack with me.
okay. As you slide it into your backpack, you look over your shoulder to see this creature now eyeing you intently. What would you like to do, my friend?
I see it. I look at it like, yeah, this will do. And I'll just immediately go into a rage and go charging straight at it.
Rage. All right.
We're gonna move me right over this way. Now we're gonna go into attack mode. Let me double check. I cannot do frenzy on this turn as I just went into rage now. So first attack with my great axe. It's gonna be a 12 to hit.
Slamming down with your great axe on top of the strange creature. It holds up its arm. A large crystal seems to be embedded on the side. As your axe connects with it, it barely scratches as it pushes away your axe. Does not hit.
All right, then I'm going to wind up for my second attack and bring my axe underneath and just try to cleave upwards on it.
Okay.
Shit, how about a 13?
13. Seeing your action, the creature swiftly pulls itself back as you swing wide as it flies upward towards you, or up towards it. Is there anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
Bonus action, I have moved. I used both attacks. Oh, that's pretty. Oh, that's my go. Really can't do much else. Simplicity is key with the barbarian.
We're about to see. As the creature towering over you lifts up its two massive claws, it's going to come down with 4 attacks against you.
All right.
What's your AC, just so I know?
Armor class is 14, because we're squished.
Right.
That's all right. You can soak some damage.
Okay. The first attack comes clawing down on top of you. You hold up your great axe, and as you push it back with all your might, you are able to parry it back. However, leaving yourself slightly open and slightly winded, it comes forward on you with 3 vicious attacks, each scratching heavily across your chest. You take 30 points of slashing damage.
Okay. I'm going to have that half because I am raging.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. All right.
Looking down towards you. Something you need to do?
Oh, I was just going to... Hey, now's the fine time to do that plan we talked about.
The second gem stalker is now going to begin to slowly make its way up the platform, easily to make it on top. Looking towards Happy as its closest victim. It is going to go ahead and use its ranged attack to shoot a crystal dart out of its tail.
Excellent.
That is going to be a dirty 20 to hit.
Oh, lovely. That's a hit. Yeah.
Okay. As it pierces into your back, you take 7 points of force damage, as well as I said that it was. I need you also to make a. Oh. No, actually, I'll let you guys make it. I need you to roll a d4 for me.
D4. That'll be a 1.
A 1. You're going to go ahead and subtract a 1 from your next attack roll.
Okay.
Continuing its movement, is going to rush up upon Happy and is going to go ahead and make its attacks against you.
Brilliant.
What's your AC, just so I know?
17.
17. Actually, why doesn't everybody give me their... Ontarius, what's your AC?
12.
12, oh God. And Liam?
15.
Jesus Christ.
We're easy to hit.
I make up for a lack of AC with a giant health pool that shouldn't exist on a bard.
Happy, as you turn around, seeing the creature now towering over top of you, it comes down crashing with one of its claws. You parry it with your mace, flinging it away, but its movement speed is just too quick. You take 3 additional attacks, suffering from 30 points of slashing damage.
God damn.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Ow. Ow. Okay.
Suffering from the blows, the creature instinctively stares at you, its void, vacant eyes of anger piercing down into your soul. You are up, though, my friend. What would you like to do?
So, because I need to check this just to make sure. Because that changed a little bit of what I need to do. I'm going to go with... Yeah. So I think I'm going to go with the disengage action and put myself back down here. I'm then going to cast Healing Word at the 2nd level and target myself.
Okay.
Otherwise, I will be dead. So that would get me 10 points back as my bonus action.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to do on your turn, Happy?
Shout out, "That bloody yurt!"
Okay. Holding onto your holy symbol, you allow the light to embrace you as you feel a warmth cascade over your body, feeling the effects of the healing word. With that said, Ontarius, you are up, and Liam, you are on deck. What would you like to do, Ontarius?
All right, I will look at the one that just hit Happy and say, what do you call a happy cowboy? Jolly Rancher, and cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter.
Very good.
Very good.
So it's got to make a wisdom saving throw unless its intelligence is 4 or less.
That is a good question. I have no idea what the intelligence of these things are. Oh boy, that is... No, it's definitely not 4 or less. But that is definitely going to fail with a 4.
Wait.
Good. So it's incapacitated and prone for until it's able to stand up. It can make a wisdom saving throw at the every time it takes damage.
Okay.
Pretty much it. And then I'll give is he close enough? I don't know. Let me see what the range on this bardic inspiration is.
The sound you make as you scream out your insult towards the creature reverberates through the entire cavern to make it sound like the stampede of hooves stomping in all around you, like that of a hopping dragon. Welcome in, Raiders.
Hey, Raiders.
Welcome, welcome.
Cool. I'll give Megara bardic inspiration as well.
Okay.
And that's it for me.
Strumming on your lute again, Megaro this time hears it through the combat-heavy thickness that he's engaged in, feeling a little bit more inspired now hearing your song on the wind. Liam, you are up. Megaro, you are on deck, my friend.
Yes, sir.
So you said he's prone, the one that just attacked Happy?
Prone and incapacitated.
Okay. Well, that is an obvious target. So I'm going to move to right here, and I'm going to attack with my rapier.
Okay. As stowing away your crossbow, you reach to your belt line, pulling out your rapier, facing off against the creature directly in front of you. Go ahead and make your first attack.
The first attack is a 16 to hit.
16. You lunge forward, trying to pierce into the creature's side. As you do, it seems to catch one of the many gems surrounded on its body. While it cracks a little bit, doesn't seem like it affects the creature in any way, shape, or form. That is not a successful hit.
It's prone though, right? Does that affect it?
You get advantage.
You get advantage, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you use your inspiration too already?
Well, I didn't, but my advantage would be a 26. I'm sorry. I didn't know I had advantage.
26. Pulling back once more in quick cessation, you thrust forward with your arm even harder this time. It pierces through the now cracked gem as it cleaves into its side. A little bit of a purplish ooze begins to pour out of its side. Go ahead and roll damage for me.
Okay. Damage for that one is a 12.
12.
And then sneak attack damage would be 10 more.
Sneak attack. You do not have sneak attack on this one. It is not the first attack, and you don't have any anybody engaged with it other than yourself.
Okay. Gotcha. So just 12 then.
Okay. All right. Anything else you'd like to do on your turn, Liam?
I will use my bonus action. Well, he's prone. Never mind. I'll use my bonus action to attack again with my dagger.
So you're making an offhand attack?
Yeah, the bonus action.
And do you have 2-weapon fighting?
2-hand. Yeah, 2-weapon fighting.
Okay, perfect. All right. Quickly grabbing your dagger out of your side, you flick it around in your hands, trying plunging it down into the creature's chest. Go ahead and make an attack for me.
Okay, it's a 22.
22 absolutely hits. You find the sternum of the creature as you push down heavy into it. It lets out a as the blade pierces into its stomach. Go ahead and roll damage for me.
Okay. And that one is an 8 damage.
Okay.
And I will
Max damage.
move back.
Okay. As you attempt to move back, the creature tries to swing towards you with its arm. That is going to be a... Yeah, you dodge out of the way, easily able to jump over the claws. It swings too low to the ground on you, nearly just trying to attack your feet, I guess, at this point. Okay, Magaro, you are up. Happy you're on deck.
Alrighty. Yeah, you three take that one. I'll take this one over here. And while in this rage, I'm just gonna look at this thing and say, yeah, let's get dirty. And I'm gonna start swinging recklessly with my great axe. So because of that, I now have advantages on my attack rolls this turn. Yeah. So let's go. Come on. Oh, good. A natural 19. So we got a 26 on the first swing.
The first swing, you whip down with the axe, catching it directly in the chest. You watch as its skin cleaves open, a purplish liquid now leaking out the front of its chest. Go ahead and roll damage for me.
Awesome. We got 10 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
Second attack, we're going to bring the great axe around again. 25 to hit.
25 absolutely hits. Now coming down in an X-like pattern, you try to even out the slash on the one side, making a perfect X across its chest. Go ahead and roll damage for me.
I didn't even know. I went heavy on that one. 16 points of slashing damage as we maxed die
16,
on that.
1-6.
1-6.
Okay.
And then bonus action, I'm going to frenzy. and make an additional attack.
Did you not? You went reckless attack.
Right.
Yeah. Is reckless attack not? Isn't that a bonus action?
No, that is just the feature of Berserk Barbarians.
Okay,
So
fair enough.
When I go to make the first attack, I can choose to call that out.
Okay.
And then Frenzy Swing is going to be a 26 to hit again.
26 absolutely hits.
For another 6 points of damage.
6 points of damage. Very good.
Keep in mind now you have advantage against me.
Okay. Let me get a second dice then.
That's gonna hurt.
Yeah, it's gonna hurt.
Excited. Oh, hey.
As you slash down directly down the center, you pierce through one of the crystals embedded into its chest. It pops out, leaving almost a giant hole directly in its chest, now leaking blood out of all angles. It's looking pretty hurt at this point in time. Albeit without any kind of mouth, it seems to instinctively know your rage. It knows your anger and your thirst for battle. As it stands against you, challenging you, it's going to go ahead and make its attacks against you.
Let's go.
The first attack swings wide against your uncovered body, catching you directly across the chest the same way you it. You take 10 points of slashing damage. The second, again, another slash across with its other arm. You take another 10 points of slashing damage, smiling at the creature, knowing that you're in full blood rage mode. It looks at you astonished, making one more clawed attack. You push the arm away. However, its anger resubsides, and as it comes down for its final attack, it catches you, digging deeply into your chest and pulling across you. A heavy, heavy, heavy wound. You take an additional 20 points of damage as I rolled a natural 20 on that one. So that's a total of 40 points, and I believe halved.
Halved. Thankfully, it's halved. Otherwise, that would be a real problem right now. Oh, yeah. This is good fight. Good fight.
The one on the platform is going to continue watching as Happy runs off, is going to run up towards it. As it does, it stops for a moment, raising its tail. Oh yeah, it has to get up. So uses half of its movement speed to get up.
You have to make a wisdom saving throw to get out of that.
Oh, I have to make a wisdom save just to stand up? That's a dumb rule.
Because you're still
you're laughing.
Tasha's hideous laughter is a concentration that goes until you make a check, pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay. Does a 13 get it up?
Negative. Got to get a 15.
All right. Fair enough. Can it make attacks? I think it can still make attacks from the ground, though. Can it not?
It's incapacitated.
All right. Then it's going to sit there and do sweet fuck all.
You can roll that wisdom whenever it takes damage, though, as well. It's not just at the end of each of its turns.
Oh,
I wish I would have known that.
Give it a bonus roll, Dave. Oh,
it's okay. You swiped at me. We'll call it.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. All right. That takes us to Happy. What would you like to do, my friend?
So Happy is gonna move around to here. He's gonna point directly at the creature engaged with Magaro. He's gonna point at it and cast Toll the Dead.
Okay. Holding on to your holy symbol, you focus, and as you do, you watch as a black mist begins to pull up from the ground, wrapping itself around the creature, seemingly choking it. It looks confused and worried as this black mist seems to now be closing in on it. And I believe that's a wisdom save for me?
Wisdom save DC 13, please.
That's going to be a natural 1.
Excellent. Now, you have been damaged, haven't you?
I have been damaged.
So that would be 2d12 necrotic damage.
Give him hell, Happy. Give him hell.
That is an 8. Any modifiers on that? No. So just 8 necrotic damage. And that was my action. As a bonus action, I'm going to, still looking towards Magaro and that fight, cast Healing Word aimed at Magaro.
Okay. In contrast to the blackish mist that seems to be choking the Gemstalker, another white light appears out from your hand as it reaches over towards Magaro, grasping him. Magaro, you feel the warmth of the healing energies now penetrating through your heavy, thick hide. How many points of healing does he take?
That'll be 7.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to do on your turn, Happy?
No, that was it. Movement bonus.
Okay,
action.
Ontarius,
Yep.
you are up. Liam, you are on deck.
I'll go ahead and use my bonus action to give I'll give Happy some bardic inspiration as well. Everyone's got one. And that is the last of my inspiration. And I'll hold my action for whenever the Gemstalker that is currently under Tasha's Hideous Laughter breaks free from Tasha's Hideous Laughter if it's on his next turn.
Aye.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough. All right, with that said, Liam, you're up. Magaro, you're on deck.
Okay. So correct me if I'm wrong, but if he's incapacitated and I hit him, does that make it a crit?
No, it's just advantage.
No, it's
You
just
get advantage,
Okay.
but that does mean that you get your sneak attack on the first one because you've got.
Oh, that's
Okay.
true, and I forgot about that. My apologies.
Oh no, it's all good. All good. We're learning as we go. I've never played a rope before, so I'm gonna move close to him where I'm standing right now, and I'm gonna tackle my rapier again,
Okay.
and that will be a natural 20.
As you stand over top of the creature, flipping your rapier around, your dagger still close in hand. With both hands, you reach up, holding onto the rapier and plunge it down into the creature's chest. It penetrates deep into its stomach as you feel almost the rock underneath it as you pierce through the entirety of the creature. Go ahead and roll all those big damage for me.
And remember,
Okay,
your sneak
so-
attack is also.
Yeah. So it's 12 for the first hit. And then for the sneak attack, it will be 24.
24?
So it's 12 for the rapier, it's 12
But-
for the sneak attack, but then that's 24 total, which then gets doubled because it's.
So
It's a crit,
it rolled
isn't
it rolled the first one for me. So it's 12 plus 24, so it's 36 total.
Yeah. Okay.
36 total. Okay, fair enough. As the rapier plunges deep, you twist it in its stomach to make sure that the creature is finished entirely. Its eyes roll back in its head as it reaches up to the air. However, its hand falls down, flopping to the side as all tension leaves its body.
Ooh.
No air seems to be breathed through its lungs, its chest no longer heaving up and down. You pull your rapier out, engorged and thickened in the black-purple blood of the creature. You simply whip it off to the side, easily able to clean your dagger after such a clean kill. Is there anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
So I've moved 15. I get 35. So I'm going to move 20 feet. 1, 2, 3, 4 to there. And then I will use my bonus action to dash. Can I dash over the rocks right there?
Yeah, it's gonna half your movement speed
Half it,
to
so-
climb down.
Okay. So basically, I'll make it just to like right here,
Okay.
and then that'll be it for me.
Okay. Magaro, as you stand bloody and battered staring off against the creature in your midst, also badly beaten, bloodied, and bruised, clutching onto your great axe. What would you like to do?
Oh, we're going reckless again. This guy's going down. Hopefully. Yes. Another 26 to hit.
The first axe slices down on top of the creature. Go ahead and roll damage for me.
11 points.
11 points of damage. It pushes back from the strength of your blow. You turn around with your second attack. Let it loose, Megaro.
Let's swing again. 23 to hit.
23 with lightning reflexes. You don't let it move or any kind of reaction towards you. You slice down again. Go ahead and roll damage for me.
10 points.
10 points of damage. With one final blow, you raise your axe above your head, shaking your muscles, bulging outward. Go ahead and make your final attack for me.
All right. So it's still moving. So yeah, we'll frenzy right into the last one. Oops, there we go. Roll correctly, please. Darn thing. Whoa, we missed on that last attack.
Okay. As you come down hard on top of the creature, raising its hands into the air, it stops your axe just as it's about to hit the top of its head and pushes back. Staggering back and forth, holding its side for a moment. It feels its rage in its eyes once more as it leaps toward you. Its claws sharp. Let me see your... Nope. The first claw, you parry it away. The second, it penetrates through your defenses. You take 10 points of damage. Its third attack, you're able to parry off once more, and its final attack, raising both of its claws to the sky, scraping down directly upon you. You this time catch the wrists of both of them, and as a battle of strength pushes back and forth, you feel the energy of the Gemstalker viciously pushing down on you, but feeling the rage in your blood and your bones, you throw it backwards again. It stops holding its side, staring you down once more as you begin to focus on the next attack, either against you or it. Happy, you are up. What would you like to do, my friend?
So Happy's going to move up to here. I think still pointing in the wrong direction, but that'll do. And then with grasping his holy symbol aloft, he is going to cast Guiding Bolt at the second level.
All right.
Aiming directly at the creature.
As you hold onto your holy symbol, you close your eyes for a moment, focusing, calling forth the divine power that you've learned and had embedded within your soul. As you open your eyes with pure focus and clarity, light begins to burn within your eyes. Small sparks of lightning energy begins to cascade out the side of its corners. Raising your hand, you feel the electricity build throughout your arm, almost wrapping around like a coiled snake, pushing off the end of your palm directly towards the creature. Go ahead and make a ranged attack for me.
That was a 23.
23. The bolt of radiance smashes directly into the creature's chest. It pushes its arms out as the energies feed directly. You continue to push forward with your arm. Go ahead and roll damage for me.
That's a 23 damage.
23 damage. You watch as the light begins to push out the backside of the creature, now bursting forth, creating a giant illumination across the walls. You continue to push forward, the hole getting bigger and bigger and bigger. The rest of you watch as the light seems to just pierce through the entire air all around Happy, creating a dome of divine light. And as it pinpoints, focusing directly on his arm, one last giant blast flies out of Happy's hand as it burns directly through the creature's chest, leaving no more left of a torso as its two arms fall to the ground, its head simply rolling off the back as the creature, or what's left of it, falls dead, with Magero thoroughly bathed in the purple blood of what is left of the now deceased creature.
I just turn around and look at Happy and point a finger towards Liam and I'm like, I expect him to kill Still for me, not you.
As I'm cleaning off my sword, my rapier, I'm gonna look over and say, so you're a cleric, right?
I kind of come out of a trance. Like, I wasn't really, the spirit overtook me while I was doing it, and I kind of look down and just nod, and out of my backpack just pull out an incense, light it, sit it in front of me, and then kneel in front of it and just pray for a little while.
Taking a few moments to collect yourselves, silence falls over the cavern, as no words could be spoken. Now knowing the threat of this world all around you, but knowing that all of your companions are more than competent, and albeit somewhat rude to each other at times, do have each of your backs. You take some time to pry off the rest of the diamonds, as well as pull out the emerald from its resting place. Taking the next 20 minutes or so, you leave the mine shafts, making your way back to the farmhouse. As you open the front gate, you're met with warm smiles from Belinda, Faldor, and Becky, respectively. Becky, now holding up what's left of the candle in the incense, brings it over to Happy, bowing her head and offering it back to you, as proof and a showing that she too is as dedicated to the Lord of Light as you are.
I nod and take the candle off her very solemnly, and then present the Emerald Heartstone.
As soon as you produce it, it begins to glow immensely in your hand. The energies seem to fly off from it directly towards small Boxy. And you watch as the stone begins to crack into little tiny shards as it falls away from the little cat, freeing it from its bondage once more. Becky runs over and grabs onto the cat, picking it up, holding it in its arms as she smiles and cuddles with it intently. As Faldar and Belinda motion you towards the home, inviting you in for a dinner, suddenly you hear a deepened voice once more. As Ember Ring appears directly in the skies above you. Your tasks are not complete. There is no time for rest. You are required in another land.
Before we go, I'd like to take a little bag of all the diamonds that I pulled, and I'm going to give it to the little girl before we walk away.
I see you doing that. I nod in appreciation, and I cast Bless at the 3rd level, blessing everybody within the house.
Without any words to be able to say from the kindness that you've shown today, the little girl, Becky, picks a nearby flower for each of you, handing one to each of you. As she finishes down the row, she says loudly, My heroes. However happy, you feel the call and draw of the Father of Light beckoning you to step forward once more.
I move directly towards their crackling hearth and see the fire and the portal leading back to our campsite, ready to start the next adventure. Nod to the 3 occupants and step through.
And I'll say to the father, take care of your little girl. You never know what could happen tomorrow. And I'll step through.
Okay. Ontarius
Oh, sorry.
and Magaro. What would you like to do?
I'll turn to McGarren and say, "That sucked," and then step through the portal.
I just look down at my chest where I'm just like, cut the heck, and I'm just like, fine, it's just a flesh wound. Are we standing outside still or inside?
Yes. Nope, you're outside.
Outside? Perfect. Before stepping into the flames, I just let loose and kind of aim towards the sky and let my dragon breath go. And just a blaze of lightning just shoots into the sky.
As the blaze of lightning shoots out, practically scratching the skies itself. You look back to the family one last time with a nod, stepping through the portal. As the portal begins to close, the father, Faldor, looks towards where the mines are and looks at it cautiously as he feels a slight tremor underneath the ground. As the portal closes, you hear him say to Belinda, "Well, that's strange. I've never felt a tremor here before." But that, my friends, is going to be a story for another evening.
What did we do?
Who knows? Oh.
We did not get TPK'd by DM Dave.
Oh, that first round was scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are not wrong. I did most of that at less than a quarter health, even having healed myself.
I dropped about half my health in one shot. But whoops!
I'm just sad I didn't get to tell another cowboy joke.
I think the MVP, as usual, goes to Tasha's hideous laughter for just
absolutely.
Always.
I don't know, man. I don't know, that radiant blast. That was that was something else.
Super Saiyan.
I did go Super Saiyan. It was pretty crazy.
Right, that was fantastic.
Like level 3.
Now I can imagine that last one didn't have too much health left. And I'll just be the one to say that I definitely was still going to cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter on it as soon as my turn came up.
That is a clutch spell, that is. So just for those in chat now, what would normally happen now is we would go to a break and have a discussion amongst us as to sort of how we would score that performance. We would then set a poll up in chat. And get you guys to sort of score it out of 10 as well, which would then go towards the final score. Finally, then ending up with a full score that we could give the DM. No need to do that today because this was just sort of a run through to test our characters and see how it all played. Some feedback would be amazing, guys, which I'm not going to ask for now because it will just end up crazy in chat and people are doing stuff.
There is a space in our Discord for that, for gameplay suggestions. If you want to make a note of anything in there for that, you can.
But what I will say is that was absolutely amazing. DM Dave, I've been watching you DM and world build now for over a year, and it's been a bit of geek thing of mine to be able to actually play in one of your games,
Yes.
as you well know. So that was a huge tick on
Well,
my list.
hopefully I did it justice for you guys.
That was absolutely fantastic.
It was
Absolutely loved
very, very, very fun.
Vix, thank you for that update. We're over 50 follows now.
Wow.
Amazing.
That's
Congratulations,
amazing.
guys.
stuff.
Very
Thank
well
you.
earned. Very, very well earned.
Oh, that's
Thank you.
awesome.
It's
And I think
been
we're
rapid.
kind of official.
Yeah,
Like, now that we've had our first one, right?
That's it.
That's,
Official.
so I will
everything,
take
So
everything
any-
so far has been testing.
Any hints
more
on who the first DM is to run the gauntlet?
Not quite yet. We're gonna open up the DM applications very soon, probably within about a week.
yeah.
And I know me and Ash have been talking about on Friday doing a stream about how these scorecards are going to kind of look and how we are going to go about objectively looking at these stories. So,
Yeah.
kind
So
of excited to see how that's going to get pulled together.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, that's the way it's all going to go. Over the next week. Sorry, it's 2:30 in the morning here, so I'm thinking, having my mind in I can do one thing, which was a game and a stream, and now I've got to think about things on the fly as well. So yes,
Yeah.
we're going to do that. We've also got the Wednesday night starting this week with the very first one, which is going to be a bedtime story. So if you guys, anybody who has kids or doesn't have kids and just wants to listen to the sound of an Englishman making up stories for fun, I'm going to be doing it around about 7 o'clock, 7 o'clock CET. So not CET, whatever Canadian, CST.
You're thinking EST.
EST is what I'm thinking
Eastern
of.
Standard, yeah.
Yeah.
Eastern Standard Time.
I
And
really want to be Canadian.
yeah, and that is thank you. It's very early in the morning here. And so that is
Ash, formerly known as British. I love it.
formerly known as British. So that is going to, if you want to introduce your kids to sort of Twitch and how it works, and listen to a story and have a bedtime story, something a little bit different. That's what I'm going to be doing on Wednesday nights over here as well. Dave, if you'd like to plug a little bit of Careful Cantrip, I think.
I'm sure most of the people watch and know who we are, but we are part of Careful Cantrip. We do a live show on Tuesdays. We do an art show on Wednesdays. We do world building on Sundays. But today I'm going to say, make sure you're following along at Fireside Portal. Make sure that you are supporting them to the utmost if you can. Follow them on all the socials. I don't know if they have a YouTube, but I'm sure that they will at some point. Make sure to go subscribe there as well. Show them as much love as you possibly can. Show them as much CC love as you possibly can, because there's going to be lots of great things coming out of this. I'm sure of it, and you're not going to want to miss it.
Just reminded myself I don't have Twitch bots yet, so I can't do shout outs. Oh crap, I need to fix it now.
What I do
The
have is
things you
this.
learn.
Another thing to add to my list.
I
Okay.
will put that in the chat.
Hey pal.
So there's our link tree.
Yeah.
Please follow along.
Linktree.
Guys, there will probably be an after party taking place in somebody's Discord. If not ours, then probably
Our Discord.
our Discord. That'll
You're
do.
not in our Discord.
That'll do.
Join us, please.
After party going on the Discord. There probably will be a raid. If someone can think of a raid for us to do, that would be fantastic.
Let's see here. Oh,
The only person I see
Things
on
are up
Scarza.
I got a couple of different options here. Let's go. Yeah, let's.
A Grouch Couch is playing.
Grouch Couch is what I said. Grouch Couch or Lord's Kosumba.
So is that-
Grouch Couch?
Is it a / or is it a exclamation mark? Raid
Forward
command.
slash.
Should be
Forward
forward
slash.
slash.
/raid, and then space the Grouch Couch.
Yes, the Grouch Couch.
Okay, I've set that up, so we'll be ready to raid, guys. Thank you so much for everything. From from the bottom of my heart. And if you have feedback, please let me know. If there's anything you noticed from the stream that was just messed up, because it's the first time I've ever run one.
Aside from
Yeah,
my
not
tech
including
issues,
me.
that's-
Not including me. I'm just here as technical difficulties tonight.
Yeah.
Please let me know.
My laptop and our streaming software are not best of friends. So
Yep. But thank you very much, guys, and I'm gonna hit the raid button, and thank you very, very much.
Oh, you did it! Way to
We
go,
did
Ash.
it.
Yeah,
Good
there we
man.
go.
Good man.
And
that's
so,
a good one, Vix. We'll use that. Yeah. Fireside raid.
Thank you, and we will see you next time. Thank you.
Yay. I'm so glad to see so many friends here.
And I will stop the stream.